Hey everyone, Reaper here again with another video. I can't stress enough the importance of the back cover of a comic. I'm pretty sure we all know that, but I think sometimes we forget about it. Now this is going to be a short video. I just want to talk a little bit about it. You know, some of you go on eBay or wherever you go to a comic book shop and you see the book up on the wall and you're like, oh wow, that looks like a pretty good deal, I'll take it. Then you bring it home and you open it up and then you look on the back cover and you're like, okay, this price is now making sense. It's a mistake that I think a lot of us make. We see a book that we really want and we see a price on it that we think is a pretty good deal. We want to so desperately believe that we found a good deal or we found a reasonable seller. We buy it and then we realize that, yeah, I could see why it's this price, and a lot of that is due to the. I'm not going to say all of it because that could be the price. Those comics could be that price for several reasons. Of course, it could be a good deal, or it could be other issues with the book inside it, and other. But I think a lot of it does go back to the back cover. That does have something to do with the back cover. So I have a couple of pictures I'm going to show you that I got off eBay to show my example. You go on eBay or you go anywhere and you look at the front cover and you're like, wow, this is pretty cool. Here's an example. Okay, Amazing Spider-Man 253, the first appearance of Rose. That should be in one of my videos. A book you should get. It's cheap. It's worth looking into, especially if the Marvel Universe is just being open to all sorts of characters. The Rose is the son of the Kingpin, okay? And it's worth looking into. But anyway, you take a look at that front cover. It doesn't look that bad. I left enough time for you to look at it on the screen. I mean, you don't have too many close-ups, but it looks like it's a pretty decent copy, right? We see that in the back cover. You don't see the back cover because it's in the long box, and you say, "Hey, this is a good price." Or you see it up on the wall, and you don't ask to look at the book, or at least be shown the book. I know some people, some comic book dealers, especially when you're at a convention, they may not be so hot about you handling their book, and I totally understand that. Some people don't have any common sense, whatever. They'll be gnawing on this greasy ass piece of pizza or pretzels, and they say, "Oh, can I see that? Oh, can I see that comic, please?" And that's the first thing that would be in my mind when I would see somebody ask to hold the comic. I would gladly show you the book, but yeah, when you have too many hands on it, sometimes somebody can mess it up. So I understand that why sometimes sellers are a little hesitant about you handling their books. They'd rather show you themselves, and some sellers don't care, especially if they know you or if they trust you. But it's important. It's very important to check the back cover. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, you would think this is common sense. Like, yeah, we already know that. Do you? Sometimes, again, and I've fallen victim to this too. We are fooled by a price that we want to pay. We see it on these books, like, oh my God, that's a good price. It looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, how much damage could possibly be on the back cover? There's this auction. I'm not going to show it on here, but there's this auction on eBay for an EC book that I've wanted to upgrade for a long time. And you look at that front, you see the price, and the price is pretty expensive. And you see the front cover. You're like, hey, this looks pretty good. And you just look at the description, in the title. It sounds good, but you have to do a little more reading. And then the seller does show the back cover, thankfully. When you see that back cover, you're like, oh my God. Big difference, and that book is not worth your opening bid, okay? But I think sometimes people, or your buy it now price, whatever. I think it's a buy it now price. But sometimes people get so caught up in the moment. Oh my God, I got to get this. FOMO, right? Oh, I got to get this. I'm going to miss out if I don't get this. This is a great deal. And then when you get it, you have buyer's remorse because there is a little more damage than you thought. And the price that's on that book is starting to make a little more sense. Before I go, as I've been talking about this, the back cover here, let me show you some pictures of the back cover for Amazing Spider-Man 253. Okay, you saw the front cover earlier in the video. Looked pretty good. But then when you see the back cover, you're like, you know, it's really important. And, you know, a lot of times in a book like that one, and this is why I highlighted 253, because it's a white cover. And sometimes you don't see the damage, the creases on a white cover as much because as you would a black cover. But usually on the back cover is when you have some, most of the time. Not with every book. A lot of books from the 80s to the 90s, you have a little bit more color on the back cover, whether it's blue, whether it's black, whether it's dark gray because of the advertisements that are a new video game or whatever. You have a little bit more color on the back cover. And you see those creases more prominently on the back cover. So again, that's another reason why to double check. Yeah, you see the cover, you may not be able to, even if you have poor eyesight, may not be able to see all the creases on the front cover as much, but as soon as you turn that book over, they're more prominent because of the colors that are around the spine. And again, it's something that I think we as collectors sometimes forget about, ignore, and then later regret. So again, just be careful when it comes to your buying. Make sure you double check the back cover. I always say count the pages, because a lot of times the comic book seller, it's not necessarily he or she is trying to screw you over or rip you off. It's sometimes they have such an inventory that they don't always check everything. I don't agree with that. You really should, unless it's especially when it's a big price book. You really should make sure it's complete and all those other things, because coupons tend to be clipped, Marvel stamps are clipped, centerfolds are gone, or pinups are ripped out. You really should be on top of that. But sometimes I understand that they can't. So then you have to do it. You have to know. It's not that hard to count the pages. You know, Silver Age books, Bronze Age books, you have those books that are very, very expensive that you want to add to your collection. You count 8 pages in and 8 pages out from the centerfold. That's the way it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so far so good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're all here. And check, take a look at the pages for coupons that possibly clipped out and other things. So it's not really that hard, but you should always count the pages and check the back cover to make sure that you get the most, what you're expecting to get. Because sometimes prices, we've heard that saying, if a deal seems to be too good to be true, it usually is. So just a reminder of things that you already know, just to keep in the back of your head. And just keep in mind that check the book, check the back cover. It's very, very important. And count the pages. Take care, everyone. Be safe.